More pleasant escapes again. Lial finally wins, and there was all square in Portmore. But we got to start one place and one place only, and that was the craziest West Kingston Derby we will ever see. This is Match Week 17 review show. Yeah, people, welcome back to Jamaica Fan, and we have a lot to talk about, especially the West Kingston Derby. So we never waste no time, we'll go straight into it. And honestly, this is one of those games where you can spend an entire day talking about, really. I'm going to try to keep it as short as I can, because it was a lot happening this month. So, of course, Arnett went into this game on a decent run of form, especially after playing one of their best half of football against Harbour in the last game, while Tivoli come into this game after a much needed win against Vere. So, of course, if you remember correctly, at match week 4, Tivoli got the best of Arnett in Arnett with a 3-1 win thanks to our hat-trick from Justin Dunn. But he hasn't scored in a while coming into this one. While Arnett is buzzing with the return of Fabian Reid as well as the new boy Karim Dixon. So how will this turn out? Honestly, up to the final whistle, I have no idea what's going on. It was one of the craziest games. It started with the crazy weather where we're having in Kingston, where rain was falling all day, and with the field already supporting one match before it was nowhere at the right condition to provide entertaining football. But credit to both teams, because somehow, some way, it was pretty entertaining. We're going to start off, the game started off very fierce, very high tempo, and just like two heavyweight boxers trading blows, we saw Tivoli and Arnett get at each other. But I thought Arnett settled much quicker and got used to the conditions much faster. I was starting to ping around some passes and then start to dominate at some point. Karim Dixon wasn't really making an influence. He was doing well to link up with his veteran partner in Fabian Reid, who once of all gave him back a good ball for him to finish, but he was unlucky to hit the crossbar. From there, it seemed that Tivoli and Justin Dunn woke up and decided to say no, they won't take it like this. And Justin Dunn himself got off a good shot that was tucked around the post by Hutchinson's great save. The match was going back and forth at this point, and then Arnett got a free chance as well. Another run from behind, thanks to Fabian Reid, who got past the defense, showing that he still got it in his own legs, got around the keeper, but could not get around the poor muddy conditions that sloped the ball, and someone missed a glorious chance. From there, tactical adjustments were made by Jerome Waite, and Tivoli got to now put more pressure on that right-hand side to lock down Karim Dixon so much, Xavier Gilbert decided to switch wings with him and Brown. It wasn't being effective. Tivoli was coming more and more into the game and would start to get more of their own chances, and especially were starting to be a bit more physical. At one point it was too physical because this was a nasty challenge that would happen on Gerald Neal Jr. that took him out of the game, and I'm hoping it don't take him out for the rest of the season. The player only saw a yellow card for that one, but the half remained that physical, and it peaked out to a 0-0 at the half. But you see that Xavier talked to his troops at halftime. Arnett bolted out like a horse that's at Came Manats and was going at the Tivoli defense, and they were simply pinning them down in any chance they can get. They played some scintillating stuff in that one, reminiscent of how they played against Harbour in the first half, and were all over Tivoli defense like fly and shit. But Tivoli could not keep up, and eventually the dam broke, and Fabian Reid got behind the defense once more, and this time he was not taking any chances and poked the ball over the keeper into the empty net. A glorious goal, a much deserved goal for Arnett for how their dominance was. Then the game once again went on further, and it was still pressuring, but Tivoli was trying to find a way back into the game, and then all of a sudden, I guess their physical nature took its toll as a coming together between Morris and the Arnigan and Bifila. Saw that Morris somehow, some way picked up a red card. I must admit, I've seen referee Hussein Nation all season, and he has made many mistakes in my opinion, but I have not seen anyone worse than this. I to this day I cannot pick up why the red card was for. Nonetheless, it spawned a major change in the game. You would think with 10 man down, Tivoli would be on the back foot for the rest of the game. I thought that, to be honest. But Jerome Waite is a master tactician, and he made 2 changes. He rallied the former Arnett players Vishnu Harris as well as Steve Clark to come into the game and switch a formation of 3-4-2, where he saw Justin Dunn and Harris more through the middle, and it seemed to have paid off almost immediately. They got more physical and was able to pick up the tempo and got more possession closer to the Arnett box. This allowed them to draw a quick free kick to where the keeper was tested in goal and made a fine save. But when the Tivoli player went to retrieve it, Shepherd, who was having a great game to go along with his one he had last week against Harbour, made a daft error and shouldered the guy into his back, drawing up a needless penalty. Justin, who was on a goalie streak, stood up and took the penalty and brought him back into at 1-1. And then from there, the game just got even more in the favour of Tivoli as Harris pulled off a scintillating ball that find the streaking Clark, who I think shafted his first effort but took home the rebound and gave them an unprecedented lead with 10 men. The place was going delirious. They cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. Commentators couldn't believe it that Tivoli were up 2-1. The only person who could believe it was an unmoved Jerome Waite on the bench. And then a couple of minutes later, they did it again. Steve Clark once again finding way into on goal after a mistake by substitute Hoshea Smith, and is tucked away for an unprecedented 3-1 win for Tivoli. It was an absolutely entertaining game where everything was happening, and I must give credit to both teams to produce such a match on such a poor field. But Arnett, though, they must be feeling what just happened. They were hit by a truck of former Arnett players and former Arnett coach to now find themselves without no points, despite a decent performance. It seemed that it was simply inexperience that played a role here, whereas I think they just simply capitulated into the last half. But Tivoli, again behind their great coach, rode it out and finished the game off. And towards the end, we were reminded that this is a derby, as the game get extremely feisty, extremely chippy. But in the end, it was a good win by the Tivoli outfit. They got the double over Arnett, and they did it by doing the same scoreline in both games. 3-1 victors to Tivoli. Arnett have come again when they go on the road next week to Montego Bay. Okay, so we're going to move on to a game that did not exactly have the same amount of entertainment, but probably was more important. And that was the relegation battle between Lial, who was hosting at Drexel, and Treasure Beach. Lial was coming into this game without any victory all season, while Treasure Beach was actually on a 10-game losing streak. So surely something has to give, right? Surely it's not a 0-0 score, right? Well, it came pretty close. Treasure Beach were giving a debut to Brian in attack, as well as Luca Leva in midfield, and they were hoping these new players would propel them to their first victory in a while. And it always happened as the game just started. Brian got a chance after a mix-up in the back by Lial to put the ball on goal, but somehow kicked over the bar. Yeah, he was leaning back and yeah, he was on his weaker foot, but there was no excuse. And it was proved to be costly because from there, Lial absolutely dominated the game. They were playing much better football. And while, yes, their usual issue of being scarce in front of goal keep showing up, but they were still creating numerous chances. Marlon Pennicky was a star for Lial. He was very busy all around the field, and he did his very best to put his team in front. He got numerous chances, including this one where he's trying to curl it past the keeper, but the keeper just simply had it too much for him. But his work rate would pay dividends in the second half when he got behind the back line and was trying to find his way into the box, where a tangling of legs saw that he would draw the penalty. The same man dusted himself off and tucked away a neat penalty to give Lial the victory. So it was a good win, a much needed win for Lial, but it just showed that Treasure Beach was absolutely nowhere to be seen in this game. Lial exploited what I thought was a bizarre, very high line from Treasure Beach, with Marlon Pennicky relentlessly getting behind the back line, and I cannot for the life of me believe why they were playing such a high line. Maybe they were trying to overcompensate for their lack of goal scoring and push a lot more people in the box, but I just didn't see it happening at all. Treasure Beach also was relying on too much long balls for my liking, and they just could not get break on a decent Lial unit. But again, a good win for Lial. Let's look at the stats. Yeah, Lial had 13 total shots overall compared to Treasure Beach 9. They both have 3 shots on target. Lial had 3 corners to Treasure Beach 3 and 4 yellow cards to 1. So yeah, Lial was full volley for the victory, I feel. And even though the Treasure Beach had 3 shots on target, most of them I don't see was really troubling Lial keeper. Again, their coach Rambo Wedderburn stated before the game that the pressure is definitely on and he could not very well be here if they lose this game. Eventually announced on Monday that he has resigned for his post. So this, I think, doomed both teams really. Lial, I guess, give themselves a fighting chance if they can build on this. but they are now both stuck on 7 points. 7 points adrift of their nearest rivals. So now again, it finished Lial 1, Treasure Beast 0. We're going to move on to the other game on Draxall that day, and it was the defending champion Mount Pleasant was taking on a resurgent Lions United. Lions United for the last couple of games has been having some decent performances, and they finally got a deserved win in their last fixture against Humber Lion. And while Mount Pleasant was coming into this one, want to remain on top of the table. So how this game turned out? Well, it was an interesting watch because Lions gave them all against a good Mount Pleasant team. Mount Pleasant started the game on fire. I was coming at Mount Lions with shots after shots, but Mount Lions was doing enough to repel them. They even got the one chance where they countered well enough to find a cross that hit the post somehow, and it was bundled all the way back out to the box, only for Brown to hammer home into the far corner a good shot to get them the 1-0 lead. From there, Mount Pleasant took up the speed and was trying to get at Lions, but Lions competed well. Mount Pleasant had chance after chance, and Bradford himself was doing his best, but they could not beat a very good keeping effort from Peter Harrison in the Lions goal. Lions didn't just defend it with 11 men in the box either. They tried their best to counter and had a couple of chances of their own to extend their lead. But it wasn't until the 97th minute where good play by sub-2 Devontae Campbell on his return provided a ball to the box that ended up reached from one side, then back to the left side to find their captain, Sue McCullough, at the back post to tuck it home for getting a 1-1 draw in the last minute. McCullough is making a habit of this now, of saving his team in the last minute with some vital goals. And just harking back to his days as a striker in his youth. So in the end, Lions competed well, but they should feel a bit let down that they had Mount Pleasant escape with a point. What was the stats like? Mount Pleasant had 10 shots overall compared to Lions 7. But Mount Pleasant had 6 shots on target compared to Lions United 3. 10 corners to Mount Pleasant compared to 8 for Lions, and 1 yellow card for Lions. So yeah, I have to give much credit to Lions for this one. They did not come here to Draxall and was cowed away. They put up a great fight and it was absolutely competitive, and some would argue they deserved the victory. While Mount Pleasant, sometimes they're having this issue where they're dominating a game, taking a good amount of shots but not finishing. It has cost them before in the season, and it almost cost them again here, and that despite splashing the cash on Shaquille Bradford. But they did enough to come up with a point. They're the second place now, and if for now they can regroup and try to come again. So again, it finished Mount Pleasant 1, Lions United 1. Let's look at the second place team into this round, and that was Portmore as a host. They fell up St. Catherine counterparts Dunbeholden in the Portmore Derby. This one was an interesting game as well. It was as feisty as the Arnett Tivoli, but they did produce some yellow cards and red cards in this one. But the game actually started with Dunbeholden as usual, holding a lot of possession and playing some good football, and that got the just desserts with Watkins providing the lead in the 23rd minute. But that absolutely woke a sleeping giant in Portmore, who were relentless in their attack afterwards and completely dominated the game after, and was coming after wave after wave of shots at goal. They could not find a breakthrough, and they must be wondering what was needed to be done. But they got their goal, what is now becoming an unusual source of goals for them, and that's from another corner, another set piece, and another header by Stephen Young in the 74th minute to give them a 1-1. At that point, Dunbeholden was hanging on for dear life, and Portmore was looking for the winner and was coming much close. But Dunbeholden, to their credit, did try to fight back after realizing just holding out would not work, and got themselves a last-minute free kick, which was a good hit, but it could not beat the Portmore keeper, and it was a deserved draw in the end at 1-1. Let's look at the stats. So Portmore had 8 total shots compared to 4 by Dunbeholden. Portmore had 3 shots on target compared to Dunbeholden 2. But Portmore had 12 corners, and one of those ended up proved pivotal compared to 2 from Dunbeholden. 2 yellow cards apiece, but 1 red card was happening in the game. So yeah, I think this was a result that Dunbeholden needed to give them some boost in the season. They've been playing, again, some decent football, but was not scoring and was not really picking up wins. Yeah, this is not a win either, but to take a shade of our excellent Portmore team is nothing to cry about. While Portmore, I have to give them credit how they took the disappointment of going 1-0 down and took the fight to Dunbeholden, but it was not enough to give them the win completely. But a vital point to keep them pace with the top 3, and they go again. So again, it finished Portmore United 1, Dunbeholden 1. We go to Westport Park, where Montego Bay has been excellent so far this season, and they host a Vere United who are still incorporating their new players. Montego Bay, of course, have new players of their own, and all they've shown in this one, they were complete victors over Vere United. We have seen it before at Westport Park. Montego Bay completely dominated their opponents, and it was an absolute easy stroll to a 2-0 win over Vere in this one. Chisholm gave them the goal right before the first half in the 43rd minute, while in the second half they draw a penalty, and Vere stepped up and took away the penalty to give them an unassailant 2-0 victory. But even from there, Montego Bay was searching for a third, but the game changed a bit, where Chisholm got his second yellow card in the 64th minute to be sent off. Linva Dixon sensed a chance and made 3 substitutes and saw Vere completely change in the course of the game. They dominated the ball a bit from there and almost squeezed out a goal, but it was just not enough as Montego Bay ride out the victory. So let's look at the stats. Yeah, so this to show the dominance. Montego Bay United had 16 overall shots in this game compared to 7 by Vere. Montego Bay United had 3 on target compared to 0 from Vere. 1 corner from Montego Bay compared to 5 from Vere, and 3 yellow cards from Montego Bay compared to 2 from Vere. As stated before, Chisholm got the red card in the second half. So yeah, excellent performance as usual for Montego Bay United at home, and you can see why they probably prefer to play at Westport Park. While Vere United, again, they brought some new players into their core, and it seemed that it took a while for them to settle. They're not exactly a threat for relegation, but if they keep dropping points at this rate, you never know what might happen. So again, it finished Montego Bay United 2, Vere United 0. So the final game on Sunday, and it was a Waterous team that has found themselves in the top 6, were hosting Cavalier, who have a chance to go top of the table. Now, Cavalier has been a 1-0 specialist of late, and if you're a betting man, you will probably put money down on that scoreline. Well, if you watch the game like I did live, you would think that was not going to happen this time. Waterous was the much more dominant team from the get-go, and were playing some good football, and even go as far to draw a penalty in the first half. Andre Fletcher stood up to take his chances, but with a good save by White and then a good defensive effort by Ming to get the ball away from him before the rebound. Waterous was not discouraged by that. They kept playing some good football, or at Cavalier to ping some plays around, but Cavalier saw the first half with some good defensive displays. The second half started the same way as the first. Waterous came out aggressive and was trying to get the go-ahead goal, and they almost pulled it off when Brian, thanks to an excellent square, found himself open the box and put a header on target, but White pulled off a brilliant save to tip it over the bar. It was his last action in the game, as that after that he was substituted, but Cavalier was not deterred by that, and from there just got more footing into the game, or even go as far as to get ahead in the game thanks to excellent work by, I think, the main man in the last couple games, Jamaro Calvin. He got himself onto the right side, cut inside on his favourite left foot, and tucked away a good shot on the near post to give Cavalier an unexpected 1-0 lead. From there, the game played into Cavalier and their defenders' favours, as Waterous was now in panic mode and was rushing the game with more long passes than their usual build-up they saw in the first half. And all those long passes were gobbled up by that strong backline of Ming and Kin. It was an easy stroll after that goal. Waterous made some changes, and I didn't like the fact that they put Brian, their leading goal scorer in the league, onto the right when they put on 2 more strikers. It didn't work, and Cavalier came away with what, you guessed it, another 1-0 win. So let's look at the stats. So yeah, Waterous had 12 total shots compared to 14 by Cavalier. A lot of those shots from Cavalier came in the second half. 8 shots on target for Waterous compared to 7 by Cavalier. 6 corners apiece. All 4 yellow cards was to Cavalier. Yeah, so let me talk about those yellow cards. A lot of people were wondering how Cavalier been managing so much clean sheets. This is their 6th in now 8 games. And I can tell you, after watching them live, their backline is no joke. They definitely are warriors around there. They literally made nothing, and they play aggressive style of old school defending. It was even enough to rattle league leading goal scorer Javier Bryan out of his game. But credit must also be given to White, who I thought when the defense was breached was also there in hand to pull off some excellent save, including the penalty on Fletcher. So excellent win for Cavalier. It carried them to the top of the table, while Waterous have to realize they can't drop any more points at home if they want to maintain the top 6. So again, it finished Waterous 0, Cavalier 1. to the final game of the round, and that would be Humble Lion playing at Stadium East against Harbour View. It is now well known that Humble Lion is a new long-term project under Reynolds, but even they will be upset with their latest performances, including a stunning 3-2 loss to Humble Lions last week. While Harbour View still want to get away from the relegation battle, put up a good second half fight against Arnett in the last game, want to replicate that here. And can I tell you, the buzzword for this game is counter. Because Humble Lion played some decent football in the first half, but every time Harbour View got on the ball and there's a turnover, they quickly transition the ball up to the midfield and beat the Humble Lion backline to produce a goal. Like every time they countered, they produce a goal. In a blink of an eye, it was 3-0. And Humble Lion was probably wondering what hit them, including this amazing goal and finish by their captain Hardy. In the second half, not much change really, as Harbour View again waiting for their chance to transition, and they pull off another goal from angling to get themselves the 4-0 lead. At that point, it seems that Harbour View were content with their lead, while Humble Lion made some changes, including Dr. Thomas, who came onto the field to probably prove to his coach that he deserved the starting spot, because he made a big difference, honestly, and he pulled off a good goal to carry one back for your Humble Lion to make it 4-1 before a mad scramble in the box led to another goal for the Doctor. At this point, it was 4-2, and Humble Lion fans may have wondered if there's a slight chance of a comeback. But unfortunately, it was too little too late, and the game ended right there and then. Humble Lion 2, Harbour View 4. Let's look at the stats for this one. Yeah, as I said, Humble Lion did not play poorly. They had 20 total shots overall, compared to Harbour View 17. And get this, people, Humble Lion also had 8 shots on target, the same amount as Harbour View. But as you can see with the scoreline, Harbour View was just more clinical. So yeah, Humble Lion issue last week in their 3-2 loss to Humble Lions was set pieces, while this week they had more issues in terms of transition. While Harbour View exploded, they were having issues with goal scoring lately with Bradford being stole, but this should give them an entire front line confidence as they exploded with a 4-goal performances. I especially enjoyed the finishing on display by all 4 men, again including this one by Hardy. You just got to watch it again. So again, it finished Humble Lion 2, Harbour View 4. So yeah, that was match week 17. We saw some excellent games, and again, if you get a chance to rewatch that Tivoli Arnett games, please do. It was just that entertaining. Yeah, so where that leaves us for the table? Well, as I stated before, Cavalier victory gave them to the top of the pile, and something you never expected when they were so low in the table at the start of the season. They are on 37 points from 17 games played. Mount Pleasant slipped into second on 36 points from 17 games played. Portmore still in top 3 with 35 points from 17. Tivoli moved up to 4th with 34 points from 17. Arnett remained in 5th with 33 points from their 17 games. And Waterous remained in the top 6 with 23 points from their 17 games. Dunbeholden is still right there with them, and goal difference they miss out of the top 6 in 7th with 23 points as well. While Montego Bay, look out for them for the top 6, honestly. They are at 22 points after 17 games played. Harbour View, who people were wondering if we'll get relegated this season, up to 9th now at 19 points after 17 matches played. Vere slipping with 19 points from 17 games. Humble Lion in 11th with 18 points from 17 games. And Lion was a much needed point to keep themselves away from danger, have 15 points with 17 games played in 12. Treasure Beach though, they've another loss to their rival, see them with 7 points from 17 games. And Lial, congrats Lial, the first victory in the league. Finally getting another 3 points they needed, and they're now on 7 points but still rooted to the bottom at 14. So again, another entertaining match week 17. If you have friends and family who are not watching the Jamaican Premier League, tell them to get on that right away. This is sheer entertainment they're missing out, especially if you go to watch any of these matches live in person. But yeah, for the rest of you guys that are here, thank you for watching and your continued support. Also remember to like, subscribe and share as we look to continue the preview and review shows up to the end of the season. So for NTS and the Jamaican Premier League, keep it locked right here at Jamaican Fan. Big up YouTube.